Token Metrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.
We are live. This is the Market Update. I'm your host, Bill Noble. This show is brought to you by TokenMetrics.com. If you need a roadmap in crypto and you need to make money in crypto, then subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live. And of course, if you like the content and you like on-demand TA, hit that like button and give us a thumbs up. All right, let's check out who's here. Thailand is here. Welcome. London, Taz, hi. Fernando, the Caribbean is here, right? Tyson wants to know, how low will BTC go? We will cover that. Holland, right? XRP Shillbilly. How you doing? Okay. Up late in Australia. Always appreciate our friends overseas staying up late. Idaho, Miami, right? We have Croatia. All right. Somebody's asking about the 4-year cycle. Wisconsin, Tanzania, Michigan. Okay. London is here, right? All our friends from all over the world. We definitely always appreciate you. We have Abu Dhabi in the house, right? Just on a side note, how about them Dallas Cowboys, huh? They went crypto. So, you know, you're going to have a QR code on players' uniforms soon. Who knows? We have Switzerland, right? We have more friends coming in from Europe, Lebanon. Welcome. Welcome to the show. All right. Kentucky. All right. Always appreciate you having on the show. And Pakistan is here. All right. So yesterday we talked about two things. One, reduced risk on green days, right? On green days. Two, don't go long into a long weekend. It's a saying in equities. And you can see our friends in Legacy running in fear of what's going on in the bond market. So if you're like, why is crypto getting monkey hammered today? It's because of what's going on in bonds. All right, Dorset, UK, welcome. So let's kick in to your market update. Okay, the bond market bomb, right? Yesterday we talked about the long bomb. That's the long bond, the 30-year bond. And what happens is when the Fed doesn't address inflation or the U.S. government loses credibility, long-term bonds go down and long-term interest rates go up. Why does that matter? Because that's connected to 30-year mortgage rates, okay? So this is a big deal. Let's kick it. So Bitcoin, start with Bitcoin, right? Just remember what I would call the operative technical formation is, right? You have, you know, a head and shoulders top, which is bad. You have an ABC correction in blue, okay? That's not so good. Right. And then you have, you know, the market kind of falling apart with this Williams oscillator in the bottom right corner flashing negative. So if you mix this, because, you know, sometimes crypto, I mean, no one wants to sell Bitcoin to 40K. I can draw all kinds of charts and lines. No one wants to do that. But if the bond market's falling apart and the stock market's going with it, then crypto is vulnerable, especially if there's negative stuff on the crypto charts. Now let's look at total 2. This is total crypto market cap, right? Minus Bitcoin, right? At 1.09 trillion, there was diagonal resistance from the Fibonacci extension numbers, okay? Because I know how much our friends in Pakistan like the Fibonacci extension lines, right? Or actually their speed resistance lines. Check that. So what total crypto market cap did yesterday was what? A failed rally. I'm sorry, it was today. There's a failed rally today, okay? So total 2 can get hammered, especially since if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you have that Williams oscillator where that white arrow is at neutral. So big moves happen when it gets to neutral. And right now, it looks like that big move could be down. Now, this is weekly Bitcoin, okay? The levels that we care about are 42,500. That's resistance. And support is 40,969. So on the DeMark weekly chart for Bitcoin, those are the levels that matter. So if you have a weekly close on Easter Sunday below 40,969, that would be not a good sign. My guess is that they're going to hit it today. Whatever damage they're going to do most of it today. Then there'll be a quiet period, and then they may resume Tuesday. So what'll happen on Tuesday is when everybody in equities realizes don't go long into a long weekend. That's how it'll work. So it'll get hit. If it's going to get hit, it'll be Thursday and Tuesday. And then you've got, in the meantime, to figure out how you want to adjust your risk if you do. Okay, this is the 4-hour chart of ETH. Okay, so we get, a puke down and then a small rally, but that was a 9 top. And then the market went straight down. Okay, so, it doesn't look like this is the start of a new uptrend. This looks like you had a corrective bounce and a top. And then once that top was in, they started hitting it. One other reason, it's a top, or you might suspect it's a top, is that ETH rallied back over here, okay, on the left side to this previous 9 bottom, right? So, give up trade, squeeze, okay? The old floor became the ceiling. Okay, Bitcoin on a 4-hour chart, again, we're looking at 40,500. Okay, that was the low way back over here. All right, so, nobody wants to sell it below 40K, but if equities get wrecked and rates go higher and it's below 40,500, you have to be careful. All right, and I appreciate everybody out there, okay, hitting the like button. So Nico is asking, where did the sudden puke come from? The sudden puke came because interest rates started rising, right? So I think people FOMO'd in yesterday, right? Which is why I was trying to tell everybody that if you need to, if you need to sell, you sell when everybody's doing FOMO. And then people caught, like YouTubers were like, oh, if it's above 41K, it's going to 70. I'm like, okay, well, I would love it to go to 70, but people FOMO'd in and then interest rates started rising again. Now you have to remember, people in the bond market are not stupid. There's a lot of mutual funds and a lot of players that have to actually hold bonds, even if they're dropping. So no one's going home for a Western holiday or religious holiday without selling bond futures as a hedge. We'll get to that later, along with an Ethereum and ApeCoin price prediction. Okay. Flip Burger, I appreciate the love out there, man. Thank you. Okay. So looking at Bitcoin dominance now, okay, been saying for, I don't know, all of April that 41.5, okay, is support, 41.5%. I'm actually thinking Bitcoin may actually lurch up and wind up at either 43% or higher. I think Bitcoin is like the only place to hide. I don't want to, I'm not hating on ETH because nobody wants to sell ETH below 3,000. I get that. The only reason to do that would be to hedge NFTs, because I was looking at Bored Ape and charts of Azuki and whatnot. I mean, if you had to hedge that stuff, that would be a reason to short ETH, but no one wants to do it, but that doesn't mean it can't go down there if rates go up. Now, Crypto Lion is asking, is this the beginning of sell in May and go away? Yeah, probably. Probably. Right. I mean, I think there can be bounces, but every time long bonds go down or stocks go down, crypto rallies are going to be capped. And then you may have these days where if stocks blow up, crypto blows up, which is what we talked about for like the last 2 days. The problem with crypto is not crypto. The problem with crypto is legacy. Now, this is the Token Metrics All Exchange Index. As we discuss frequently on the stream, a Token Metrics subscription can pay for itself in one day. Okay, so this is something where our AI picks like the 6 coins from every exchange and says, this is where you should be for today. We have noticed in the past, going way back, that every time this index goes to all cash or mostly cash, like Maple is a lending platform that had been mooning, right? Featured on CNBC. So that may be a higher quality momentum play, still susceptible. But that's the only thing it wants to own. Everything else is gold, cash, and Apple stock. So this index is defensive. And when this thing is defensive, you get out. This thing was defensive yesterday, which is why I was saying, right, sell on green. And now it's still defensive, and it's like, GTFO. Like if this thing ever went to all tether and Pax Gold, like I've seen that happen before, 15% crashes. So if this thing dumps Maple and Apple and just goes to tether and gold, look out. So this is your early warning sign. And if you have a crypto portfolio and you have to move back and forth, or you want to know how much stable coins to have, this is it. Now, 30-year long bond, weekly. So long bond yields are up again today. And as we've noted, long bond yields are approaching the area where they were at during the 2018 crypto bear market. Now, I'm not advocating for crypto winter, but back then, rising interest rates hurt crypto. So you got to have, US 30Y on TradingView, and you have to watch it. Now, to add to the pain of the bond market world, so before we were looking at interest rates, and if interest rates rise, bond prices fall, right? So rates up, prices down. So this, what you're looking at here, is the bond market futures, the long bond, the US long bond futures contract. I used to actually work in this pit when it was all traded by humans. Okay. There is a head and shoulders top with a downward sloping neckline, which can be incredibly violent, right? If the pattern is working, which it is. Okay. Which it is. So this thing shows that the long bond can go back to where it was in 2011, where you had a crisis of European governments funding themselves, and the Fed and ECB went like epic QE. So you can actually unwind the entire most of the QE rally in long bonds. And long bonds, folks, that's why they call it the long bomb. Just like that, right? Just like that. Because when governments and central banks lose credibility, the bond market blows up. And this chart is as clear as a bell. Okay, as you can see up in the top right corner here, okay, this is, the long bond interest rate, just like basically going full green God candle and breaking out. Okay, right? S&P. So this is a little Gann work bringing back this. You can see here these set of Gann lines worked well, finding a top here, a bottom in May 2020, and then this whole 2021 rally was nothing more than an emotional overshoot. And of course, equities don't want to give it up because they never do, right? But it's below this big Gann point at 44.85. This is SPX. And I just think if they can't rally stocks are eventually going to fall apart with bonds. Okay. So what does this mean? Well, if you got bonds crashing and stocks in a tenuous position, if the bond crash creates a stock crash, this is why everybody's unloading crypto today in front of the weekend. Okay. Now, again, this is ES1. This is S&P E-minis. You see how many times they've tried to get through 44.57. This was a ceiling, a floor. I'm sorry. Now it's a ceiling. Okay, in Bitcoin, just for reference, if you're watching this video later, right, if it's below 40,203, our quant group thinks 36,500 is the next support point, right? ETH, we talked about an ETH price prediction. I think if you're below 29.78, so if it's for real below 3,000, then 26.87 could be next. Okay, let's talk about a specific price prediction and how we came up with it for ETH. So here's an expanding triangle. Normally breakouts through expanding triangles produce aggressive moves. Naturally, in crypto, they have to do what they don't normally do, which is bring it back inside the formation, create a liquidity event, run all the stops, allow bigger players to sell, and then they drop it. So I think if ETH is below 3,000, as we showed in the other chart, there is regrettably risk to 26.21. Okay, you would want to see ETH holding well above 3,000 in order to not worry about, in order to not worry about that. Okay, so Ferris just briefly says, can you please explain the 30-year bond yield? Okay. So the 30-year bond yield is the interest rate that the bond market charges the U.S. government to borrow money for 30 years. So you have a 30-year home mortgage, maybe. So if the U.S. government wants to borrow money for 30 years, the bond market goes, okay, we'll charge you this, and then you give us the bond. And then the bond, like anything else, moves around. Right? If interest rates in the market go up, then the price of the bond goes down. But when those bonds are issued, it's just what the U.S. government's paying for a loan. Now, the reason it moves around a lot is because, just like your home mortgage or your car rate, it's subject to market conditions. So if the U.S. government in March says, okay, I want to borrow money for 30 years, the market's like, okay, we'll charge you this. And then if the government doesn't act responsibly or they can't get inflation under control, the market's like, oh, you want to borrow more money? Okay, well, the price just went up because you're a bunch of dummies. So that's how I would explain the long bond yield. Okay, back to price predictions. Oh my God, Solana, the pain of this, right? The pain. So I had a 117, 119 stop for a reason. Right? I'm showing that if this thing takes out 101, I do not like what's going on with that Williams oscillator, at like basically zero. Big moves can occur. So folks, if you haven't stopped out of that Solana bullish idea, you better recompute, because I'm afraid that everybody's going to get liquidated on this one. And I effed it up, but I put the stop in. And even if you're not doing Solana, you need to have stops. You need to have stops, okay? Now, ApeCoin, right? So I keep saying that ApeCoin can go up if it breaks out, and it never does. It goes up, but they can't get it through 14, okay? And then it breaks through 1248, and if it can't get back above 1248, then you're looking at 1127. And if the whole market gets killed, it's 893. So I know people want to own this. They want to own it, right? And it's not clear if this thing is just kind of dead. Sometimes happens with these like new mega coins, right? They come out and then they go in these annoying ranges. Polkadot did something like this, right? It came out, it just sat. So if you get lucky, you might get it below 12. If the whole market gets destroyed, you might get it below 10. Okay, but buying strength doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And we want to welcome our friends from Oklahoma. Okay. Now, Sandbox. We talked about DeMark work. So DeMark will count a certain set of conditions. By the way, DeMark was like the first quant technical analyst. I used his work when I was back at Goldman. His stuff is as old as the hill. So the 1 through 9, that just counts a certain set of conditions. Like the low is lower than the low 2 days ago. It's complicated. So when you have a trend, right, It'll go 1 through 9. That's the setup phase. Bounce hard the other way. And then the trend will resume and go 1 through 13. Okay, that's called countdown. So Sandbox, Metaverse, does the 9 bottom, bounces, and then turns around and gets hammered today. So if this is the top of the line in Metaverse, altcoins, or the speculative asset class, you could be looking at, I don't know, 13 more down days, right? Even if they're kind of sideways down, it's not a pretty picture. So if you have to adjust your portfolio, do it, right? You want to be there when it's time to buy this stuff, right? When everyone's done getting hysterical, when stocks and bonds go down 25%, right? And whatever happens to crypto, you want to make sure that you can be there for that. And that is the market update. All right. All right, let's get busy with TA on demand. Okay, so we want to welcome everybody who shows up for the request portion. Okay, we want to also encourage you to please hit the like button. Somebody giving me some notorious love out there. Appreciate that. Okay. All right, let's go through Bitcoin and Ethereum. So here is the updated Ethereum chart. Right, let me make sure I'm sharing. Okay. So here's the updated Ethereum chart, 4 hour, right? The support is at 29.67. So that's the support point you care about for the rest of today. You know, Bitcoin, right? It looks like it's going to wind up making a new low for the move, right? This down move looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's probably looking at 36K. All right. Now let's go to okay, Rubric, I appreciate that. Okay, so someone's asking for KNC. Okay, so we talked about this, right? We talked about what happens when you get these coins that, you know, there's a huge rally in and you got to take the money. Okay, this right here, this 5 and this 0. Okay, you may not be able to see that, but that's a 5-wave. That's a confirmed solid 5-wave top. So if you haven't taken the money in Kyber, the DeMark work is hinting that, you know, you might want to do that. Okay, Dogecoin. Okay, so, I mean, Elon Musk is out there spending money. So you have some good news, some bad news here. The Elliott wave is not that good on the 4-hour chart, but clearly somebody is interested in buying Doge today. And I think Token Metrics has some positive work on Doge. You know, I think there's also a case, but you need to see people be willing to pay higher prices, right? So Doge has been sitting here. Okay. Right here around 15 cents, right? And every time it tries to go above 15 cents, they hit it. So you would have to see somebody in Doge change their mind. They have to change their mind, right? If they change their mind, then the bulls have control. If the bulls don't have control, go back to the Sandbox chart and what I said. Man, if you're long the wrong stuff and this market gets killed, I don't want that to happen to the people who watch this show. I don't. I absolutely don't. Okay. Okay. So this is Vulcan. You know, we talked about this with resistance at 20. Okay, we're going to pull up some more DeMark work here. Okay, so I guess the good news is there was a 13 bottom. It did go up, but it failed, right? And I keep talking about the concept of the failed rally. So Vulcan may bounce today, but I'm guessing you could go as deep as 994. Let's hope not. But if this is, you know, 1, 2, 3, this is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So you could get this below 10 if the market gets destroyed. Okay, Algo. Coin and venture capitalists cannot stop selling. And we wish they would, because it's actually got some cool functionality to it. Okay, so Algorand has support at 71 cents. Okay, 71 cents support in Algorand. Okay, it might make a new low like everything else, but, you know, there's pretty good support down there. So the fact that this 9 bottom may be like this 9 bottom where they kind of crashed it afterwards and faked everyone out. Okay, I'm guessing you're going to have to put up with some pain here between now and Tuesday, but this does not look like a disaster. You know, in other words, it's in the sort of okay zone. Okay, near. Okay, well, this pretty much sucks. So this is the failed rally that I'm afraid of, right? Okay, I love this. You have a warning sign of volatility coming, and they try to moon it up past 18, and it fails. Now, I mean, if they're doing this to near, what is going to happen to the rest of this tape? Like, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, this could be like head and shoulders top. So you definitely don't want to see near spending any time below 15. You know, it's probably a 15 to 20 range unless there's a calamity. I have a tough time selling near below 15. That's just me. Okay, Fantom. I wanted to like Fantom yesterday. Okay, Fantom's got support at 114. So is this chart good? No. Is it bad? Well, it's not as bad as some of the others. It doesn't necessarily look like it has to make a new low, right? You have a 13 and a 9 bottom. There's no follow through. So I guess in a terrible scenario, it could fall below $1 to 94 cents. But we've talked about that this market can get hammered. Okay, this does not look as bad as everything else, but that doesn't mean it can't get killed if the market gets killed. So I'll let you make that adjustment. Okay, Reef. Okay, so in Reef, you've got the same deal. You've got the 9 bottom. Okay, you've got the 13 bottom, but you got no follow through, right? In other words, this was awful. You said, all right, well, maybe it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It goes green and then boom. Right? You got to adjust risk on green days. If you have to move, your position around. Yes, and let's get the likes up as high as we can, particularly if you're on the stream and you're getting your requests met. Okay, Zilliqa. Okay, so again, the failed rally, right? Zilliqa on a 4-hour chart attacks support at 12 cents, and you wind up with a 9 top. Now, it is possible that Zilliqa turns around and maybe holds, right at 11 cents. So if Zilliqa held 11 cents, it wouldn't be that bad. It'd be okay. Okay. But obviously, you got people looking to take profits here. Okay. That said, if you wanted to buy the dip in Zilliqa to 11 cents, that's okay. That's okay. I mean, this was a huge uptrend. So people are probably going to try to buy whatever dip they can. Particularly looks like, they tried to get it going yesterday. But like I said, be careful of profit taking, right? Now you see on this, this is not as good of a picture, right? You get the 9 bottom. There's the counter trend rally that fails. Okay. So I don't blame you if you want to buy the dip as long as 11 cents holds, but this is a lesson. If you get some moonshot coin, you can buy the small dips along the way, but once the top is in, right, catching the falling knife may not be as smart. Okay. Okay. Someone's asking for Cardano. Appreciate Cardano Nation always tuning in. All right, so we may have talked about this yesterday, that Cardano, everything else looks closer to a top, and Cardano is probably trying to make some kind of bottom. It's kind of interesting, right? Cardano's rally started from like 90, 92 cents, okay? Let's look at the 4-hour chart. Okay, so there's nothing going on in the 4-hour chart, and maybe you get a new low for the move to 90 cents. But I don't know. Nothing looks particularly good, but Cardano looks better than most. I would love it if Cardano looked totally awesome. That could be like all those other YouTubers, right? Like Cardano to the moon. We can't do that at Token Metrics. We are a company. But I would like to say good things about Cardano if there are good things to say. Okay, so Cardano doesn't look like the other coins. Let's put it that way. Okay, so Rune is trying to get it together, right? People are buying the dip, right? They bought the dip yesterday, and now it's not working. Remember, it's only a bull market if you can buy the dip and make money. This looks like Rune over here, right? Where everyone chased it for 3-4-hour candles, and then it got dropped. Now, I don't blame anybody for wanting to buy Rune at 830. I don't. Okay, supports at 732. That's kind of like your Christmas level, right? And, again, 9 bottom, and then you get the counter trend move. Okay, so, I wouldn't blame anybody if they wanted to buy Rune at 740. That's how I would do it. Okay, let's go to Yearn. Okay, so in Yearn, there's a 9 bottom on pretty good support. It's back at the old low. So, Yearn looks okay. Let's see if there's anything is fugly on the 4-hour chart. Okay, so this is like an ABC correction, right? Pretty nasty, right? ABC. I don't know. Yearn looks okay to me. This looks okay. I mean, I don't know if it's going to get killed along with everything else, but I don't know. There seems to be a lot of support at 18,500. So if the market comes back, this might be a leader. Okay. Okay. So we got banned protocol. All right. Lawn Shark, don't worry. We'll take care of you if you got here when you get here. You're never too early. You're never too late. You're right on time. Okay. Banned protocol. So new low possible, but you do have this like big volatility warning thing down here. That's interesting. Okay, so there's a lot of support at 351, and maybe you can give the support a chance, right? Obviously, if you break through that, you're going to have a broader market problem, but band really hasn't gone anywhere, right? This is a lot like Algorand. It hasn't done anything. So it's not like it's got some huge rally to unwind. It's just zooming back and forth between 3.5 and 5.5. So if 350 holds, you're fine. Even if they take it through and run the stops, which is possible. Okay. Which is possible. Okay. Let's do DGB. Okay. DigiByte. Okay. DigiByte has DeMarc support right near the low 2 days ago. So, you know, DigiByte is trying to have a prior ceiling act as a floor, kind of a big fight right around 2 cents. Okay, so all the way up, all the way back. The question is, you know, would you buy this? Is the trade over? You have a 9 bottom. The way I would handle this is if it doesn't break. In other words, if you have an altcoin, right, and you're like, okay, well, my altcoin is different from other altcoins. If other altcoins make a new low, my coin won't. Okay, I'm down with that, right? But, you know, if this is below 0.024, you could look at 0.023. So you could be looking at a marginal new low. Now, what happens if you don't make a new low in DigiByte? Well, then you've got some confirmation that you know it's good, right? But you had a green day to adjust risk, and you may get another green day to see if it can hold on. So I think with coins like this, and let's face it, no one's gonna sell down near the bottom unless you want to raise cash and just have stable coins for other positions. So if you've got coins like this, you just have to be ready for what happens either today or if Legacy opens up and there's a problem on Tuesday. Okay. Okay. Someone's been talking about waves. Okay, so there's nothing going on here on this chart, on the 4-hour chart. Okay, so I think we're going to have to draw some Fibonacci lines here. Okay, so waves has got to get back above 2674. That's the 62% retracement line. Okay, normally when something has like a huge up move, you want to see it come back and hold 62%. Now let's go to token metrics. You know, of course, I'll do the TA for you, but there is a way for you to check your altcoin on token metrics. So the daily grade has dropped because the price has dropped, right? And then we can go to technical analysis, right? And then what's happening is the momentum model, which held on for so long. So the momentum model caught the rally And now it's like doing its own version of a give up trade. So with waves, you have to be careful that, you know, people aren't giving up here, because a lot of people obviously FOMO'd in above 30. Okay, now if you believe in this fundamentally, okay, maybe you're buying at 19 in hopes it comes back above 25. But like I said, our momentum system will be like hedge fund momentum systems. So be careful of a give up trade. Okay, so Matic. All right, so this is not so hot, right? You had resistance at $1.44. You had a 9 bottom. That's nice. You had one up day, but what do I always say about this, right? You know, this has been in a range, so it's not like, oh yeah, this is terrible. But no one was willing to pay higher prices off the lows. I mean, if no one is willing to pay higher prices in Matic, then what the heck is going to happen to this? What could happen to the rest of this market? Okay, Ichi, I got to go over here for that, I believe. Hey, I know this was an epic token metrics win, because our quant grade caught this. Our token metrics grade caught this. Okay, there's trading. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know if that is a data error or what. It probably is. Okay. Well, something happened to Ichi. What, I don't know. Okay. Somebody said, hey, what about Sheeb? Okay. So to deal with meme tokens is this. They might become money. Okay. Elon Musk is spending money buying Twitter, not more Doge. So Twitter is his latest like shill trade. You know, Sheeb is just in a range, right? These moving averages are supporting it. Looks like 25, 26 without the zeros. Okay, Sheeb, let's just go to weekly for laughs. Okay, so, I mean, I got to say this is neutral, right? One part of the DeMark work might pull this lower. Another part of the DeMark work is trying to hold it up. I think people want to buy Sheeb, but nobody's willing to pay higher prices, right? So when it first came out, right, you know, basically Sheeb right now is where it first printed, which is interesting, right? If it can get above where it first printed, then you'd know it's kind of on in Sheeb, right? All right, Polkadot. Okay, Polkadot on the weekly chart is probably headed for support. Just so painful, below 14, possibly. And, you know, this is what we were afraid of, right? You got the 9 bottom, okay? And it looks like it's going to bottom, but it doesn't. So you have to be careful that this isn't like a 1 through 9, a bounce, and then a 1 through 13. Now, you had kind of a nasty fake out here where you thought, this is what I thought, it was 1 through 9 on the upside. There's your counter trend break. And then when it tried to rally, it fails. And when it's supposed to go up and it doesn't, what does it do? Okay. So Polkadot's got to get above 1868. It's as simple as that. Okay, compound. This is sort of it. Okay, so you get the epic rallying compound, and then it comes back to test a moving average around 142 on the daily chart. So if buyers show up at 142, it means somebody wants to buy compound, right? If nobody shows up at 142, right, then this was kind of a one-hit wonder. So 141 was the prior ceiling, somewhere in there, and this was a low back in early April. So if compounds got the metal, okay, somebody will buy the dip at 142. Compound and Yearn actually look okay. So if the market doesn't blow up, those might be plays to look at. Columbia is here. Welcome. Hey, crypto.com. I did not do Cosmos already. Okay, we're going so fast here. We're slowing the machine down. So D-Wave suggests a move to 40 cents or below, right? Because the whole green correction, I mean, this obviously was not a trend. So this is almost textbook, right? You get the 9 bottom, the counter trend move. It looks like $1 million, hits resistance at 42. I would describe this the way I would describe all of these small coins. They're at the mercy of the market, right? So if the market is okay, all right. But if the market starts falling apart, you got to ask yourself, you know, can I tolerate some of this stuff down, I don't know, 15, 20%? You know, stocks are eventually going 15 to 20% lower. What's going to happen to these massively speculative small coins? This is what I've been saying. Okay. So they bought the dip in Flux, right? The support is at $1.42, and they sold the resistance, or they sold the rally to $1.57. And we just have to see who wins the battle, right? I mean, looking at this looks like people are trying to sell at any price, but they're not breaking support yet. Support's at 142, 143. So, okay, yeah, everyone's selling it, but it's not breaking. So this actually looks, you know, all right. Somebody calling in from the swamps of Jersey. KCS, I don't have here. Okay, so here it is. This is the KuCoin token. Okay, so in this token, I would say 1969 would be an important level. So it is kind of cool on Token Metrics that you can actually do TA in trading view on Token Metrics. So I would say whatever this token has got to be above 20 in order to be good, right? See how it launched itself off this GAN line here? Okay, it launched itself off this GAN line, and now it's back to it. Okay, Aave. Somebody's asking for ETH. No problem. Always like to do a Bitcoin and ETH update midstream. Okay, so Aave's got support at $1.67. It might make a new low because this is, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is risk of a new low when you look at all of these coins on a 4-hour chart. But Aave is holding support, right? And of course, there's the 9 bottom, the counter trend move, and then, you know, they're back selling it again. Okay, it looks like 174 was key. So 174 is where the give up trade started from. 174 is where the explosive breakout happened. Like, God, look at this. You know, everyone sold it. They said, okay, I want to get out, and then boom. All right. So if this is a 9 bottom, Aave will hold 158 and continue to go higher. Okay. If it gets above 174, it's good. Right. And then this is just the market making a decision. Okay. So people are asking for near and ETH. So let's do that. Let's look at ETH. So let's just go back to the Bitcoin and ETH chart, and let's just go to trading view for like the market update during the market update. So ETH is still down about 3%, and so is Bitcoin. Okay, let's see where stock market is. Okay, so stock market is not trading badly. Okay, it's not trading good either. Okay, ARK, the altcoins of the stock market, okay, does this look familiar? This probably looks like an altcoin, right? It goes down, down, down. This is an 8-hour chart. Okay. And then every uptick gets sold. So this is what they think of risky assets in the stock market. That's with S&P near its highs. So be advised. Okay. So let's go back to ETH. Okay. So ETH 2967 is support. This 9 top here, it's pretty unusual given the other stuff we're looking at. So no one wants to be short ETH below 3,000. Nobody wants to sell ETH below 3,000. But the fact of the matter is, this DeMark work is 1, 2, 3, 4. And there could be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the downside. These numbers are at the bottom of the candles, right? See how this is 1, 2, 3, 4 on the upside, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So, you know, you can have 5 more down days in ETH, and nobody wants that, but you know, that sucks. But I mean, if it can happen to ETH, what's going to happen to everything else? Right? What's going to happen to everything else? You got to ask yourself this question, right? Okay, so this is Bitcoin just for laughs. This is the 90-minute chart, so they're supported 39,790. Cosmos on the daily chart, there's still a 13 and a 9 bottom. You know, I have such a hard time giving up on Cosmos at 25. But I mean, if a 13 and a 9 bottom don't hold, then 20 is possible. I mean, if Cosmos is at 20, where's the rest of this market? I would hope that this 13 and a 9 bottom helps Cosmos hold. Okay. Hey, somebody asking for SuperFarm. Okay, so with the Williams oscillator, right, when these things get near zero, bigger trends can start. So they've already hit this thing, and you have to be careful that this isn't some kind of give up trade, right? I know you like this, but every time this thing goes up, somebody's selling it, right? Spike. I never liked the double spike formation in speculative altcoins, right? Spike down, spike down. Okay, you got to be careful that there's no give up trade there. Wakanda in the house, welcome. Okay, so Algorand is back. Okay, again, they're supported 68 cents. This is the 9 bottom, but there's a counter trend rally. So buyers have to show up. Okay, Avalanche. Let's talk about Avalanche. This and Solana, epic disappointment trades. So there's the 9 bottom. Multiple attempts at a counter trend rally, and it fails at 81. So 81 was the floor before it took off. And I'm not going to lie, I thought it was going to the moon. Okay, now everyone's selling it at 82. Okay, so the good news in Avalanche is that there's support at 76. So if 76 acts as support, you don't have to freak out on this. But if this thing is below 76, then honestly, you have to be careful. ApeCoin is pumping. Check it out. Okay, well, it looks like they're selling ApeCoin on the 4-hour chart. I covered it earlier as a part of the price prediction. You know, you may actually get to buy this either at 11 or 10. That's where the DeMark levels were, and we had different work before. So a lot of people obviously FOMO'd in because I know people want to own this, okay? But, you know, you cannot buy strength in this market. You can't. I mean, you can do it for a trade, okay? Okay, Christopher is saying liquidity just went up 40%. There's liquidity. All right, so let's see what we can do. We've never really done an on-the-fly moonshot before. Okay, so with this moonshot, right, liquidity comes back to the 62% retracement of its recent down move. So if it's above 261, then you know it's a real deal rally, right? Because they'll be reversing the epic downtrend. Now, let's like expand this out a little bit. You know, it may get as high as 293, but, you know, when you see resistance at, say, the 62% retracement, I mean, here, whoops. Okay. 261 is like the level. If it's above 261, then it can go. Where it can go to, probably 293. So that's your illiquid small coin going on there. Okay. Back to our show. When is Near flipping ETH? Will Near pull a 2021 Solana? If the market doesn't fall out of bed, that's possible. Okay, so here's the Lido DAO token. So we're going to use fib speed resistance lines here on this. Okay, so you can do trading view inside Token Metrics. $3.42 is the level it's got to get above. It's pretty cool, right? You get Trading View and the Token Metrics stuff at the same time. So 342 is a key level there. Okay. And then you can look at the whole visual trends indicator. So it was bullish, but it didn't get unbullish yet. It didn't sell. So there's some hope for this, but it's got to get above that particular level. Yes, and please hit the like button. So I appreciate you. If you've stayed for the whole stream, I definitely appreciate you. Fantom we did before, and then we'll go to, we'll go to injective protocol after that. Then we got to start wrapping it up. Okay, so Fantom support at $1.14. Fantom does not look as bad as everything else does, mainly because it never went up. It never went up. Notorious Bill token. Oh my God, I wish. It actually tokenize myself, I would do it. NTB. Not available. I'm working on getting somebody to put me in the metaverse. That way I can wear a leather jacket and be crazy. I mean, I could do that in person too, but it remains to be seen whether or not that would be a crowd favorite. 521 in INJ is support. So they're kind of killing it. You may have 4 more. You may have another day of this. Nobody wants to sell at the bottom. No one wants to sell, right? Everyone wanted to buy the dip, and then all the bag holders are trying to get out, right? So, I mean, this is wild, right? I think it's if it's above 522, it's okay, right? Right, yeah, don't do the leather jacket thing. I know. I hear you, Spin. I got it. Too much NFT Miami. I'm sorry, too much NFT LA. Okay, XRP, same thing, right? 9 bottom, tries to come up, doesn't make it. Okay, but XRP is holding above 70 cents, which is the 62% retracement of its recent move up. So, XRP is okay if it's above 70. Yeah, no Speedos, my man. Not at my age, bro. But I appreciate the idea. That's just not the kind of showmanship I can do these days, but I appreciate that. $1.34 is support in ACA. That's a 62% retracement down, and it is a little weird that they keep pulling up short. I always like it when they go down, they test it, and then they come back. So you may be looking at, I don't know, $1.30 maybe if they puke it. So if you're holding this is okay. I mean, if you FOMO'd in up here, you definitely want to see it hold in $1.30. Okay, IOTA. All right, folks, as we close out, please hit the like button on your way out. Please. Right? Okay, so you have a 9 bottom. Jesus, this is unbelievable. Right? You have a 9 bottom. It goes down, it comes back, but it can't get above resistance. The resistance is at 69 cents. So somebody gave up on this hard. Like somebody gave up. It looks like a big sell order drove it down. Okay. And now you may have, I don't know, one more day, one more full business day of this getting hit. Okay. Steve J, negative on that. Negative. All right, Nano. And then that's it. Raymond, we appreciate you out there. Oh, God, the future of money. I think Nano is okay as long as it doesn't make a new low below 214. So they're making it really difficult. You know, there may be some sort of climactic puke here. If you like Nano, you want it to hold 214. Otherwise, you're going to be at the mercy of the rest of the market if they hit it. All right, folks, that's it. That's it for today. Okay, tomorrow I believe we are going to post a recorded market update because of the holiday. We will do our best. We will definitely be back on Monday. Okay, so we appreciate you. Hit the like button on the way out. All right, this is Bill Noble for the market update Monday with a recorded video tomorrow.